Thank you. Hello, everyone. Pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for the invitation, Radhika. I see lots of passionate hospitality here in the room. So let me walk you through what we are doing at Accor in terms of energy efficiency, sustainability, and going to net zero. And since we are all passionate about sustainability, I would like to start with something more emotional and guide you through and walk you through and be more rational, and also to show you the business case in sustainability, energy efficiency, and how can we actually have a business case and a green asset value proposition for our owners, because most of us here work in an asset-light business. We are operators. We don't own the hotels, so we need to ask for our owners to invest. Of course, we know what to do, but to get the capex investment is quite challenging. As you know, I see people smiling. So I would like to share a video first. It's a video from Conservation International, and Julia Roberts is speaking as a Mother Nature to start with something.
Some call me nature. Others call me Mother Nature. I've been here for over 4.5 billion years, 22,500 times longer than you. I don't really need people, but people need me. Yes, your future depends on me. When I thrive, you thrive. When I falter, you falter. Or worse. But I've been here for eons. I have fed species greater than you, and I have starved species greater than you. My oceans, my soil, my flowing streams, my forests, they all can take you or leave you. How you choose to live each day, whether you regard or disregard me, doesn't really matter to me. One way or the other. Your actions will determine your fate, not mine. I am nature. I will go on. I am prepared to evolve. Are you?
I really love this video. It always gives me goosebumps. It's a very old one, so I would encourage you to watch the series. It's a nice one. So this is why we are doing sustainability, and just to say why we are doing it. Of course, the hospitality industry accounts for 10% of carbon emission globally, so that's a key. And then of course there's a huge demand from travelers. At Accor, 75% of our travelers would choose sustainable stay, and also 70% of our global accounts are committed to sustainability and reduce carbon emission. So that's from one side, but on the other side, our employees, they want to work for a company who is responsible, who they can relate to, who they can feel attached to, and also sustainability for them is key. They want to look for a purpose when they choose a company to work for. And of course, investors on the same way. When we did a study, 80% of our investors were really looking into sustainability to be more responsible. But on the other side, of course, there's a demand from OTAs like Booking.com and other travel agencies. They would rate us. They would maybe derate us in the future if we are not complying. And of course, more and more we see that hotels are displaying the carbon emission per room night on these platforms. So travelers might as well make their travel decision based on this. This is great, but so that was why we are doing it. But there's also a business case what I would like to show, and what we are doing at Accor for sustainability. So what is the green asset value proposition for our owners when we talk about sustainability? So what are the key levers? So let's go through it. So first is, of course, increase hotel revenue and also meet guest expectation, as I mentioned previously, and we will go through these points in my presentation. Of course, boost profit margin, secure investment and financing, also reduce regulatory risks, and of course, increase asset value. And increasing asset value is really a key point. We did a study at Accor, and during renovations or conversions, we see that if you invest in sustainability, it will boost the asset value for the owner on a conversion with 10%. For new builds, it's 15%. Or if you don't do anything, it will also have a brown discount. And from owner's side, this is really key to make sure that his asset is future-proof and he can have a good returns and refinance it. So I would like to share some examples what we did. This is Fairmont Royal York in Toronto, 80% reduction of carbon emission, 10% additional investment during renovation, 2 million savings, and we saw an asset value increase of 10% for the property. Other example, Fairmont Singapore, Stamford, we reduced energy and electricity consumption by 25%, 45% water consumption reduction, increase of asset value, and this was mainly done with enhanced building controls, BMS, GMS systems, and other energy efficiency topics. Sofitel Baru, Casablanca, we invested in the hotel. It was a new built property. It was built from wood, so very low embodied carbon, a very good ROI, additional investment cost of 500,000 euros, and we saw an increase in asset value of 15%. Mercur, Romania, 70% saving in utilities, 3 years ROI, greater asset valuation, and that was also mainly made with building controls, BMS, GMS. And of course, in some cases, renewable energy certificates to reduce the carbon emission even more. Novotel Olympic Park in Australia, that was also BMS, GMS, building controls, energy efficiency, energy consumption reduction with 20%, 8 years payback, but 18% increase in asset value. The last one is Joinville, so that was a very interesting building. It's built from wood, very low embodied carbon, very efficient building, and a great asset value increase. So how do we do that, and how do we develop sustainable hotels? We are talking about three areas. One is when we do conversions. I'm sure that you also, when you build your network, 50% of probably the growth comes from conversion. So we are taking lots of carbon emission to our network, and then we have the operating hotels, and we have, of course, the new builds. So I will quickly walk through it. Is that my time? All right. So of course, for new builds, what we did, we enhanced our construction and renovation standards. So we have very robust requirements for new builds. And also we are requiring at least LEED Gold certifications for new builds. For hotel conversions, we have an energy efficiency best practice guide, what we are sharing with hotels. We also have an energy efficiency program under the standards, what we are providing for the hotels. And we're also partnering with, we have global partners, I will talk about this on a later slide, to do energy performance contracting. So while the hotel is in operation, there are 4 key areas where we focus. One is to measure whatever we do through a resource advisor, Gaia. Most of the hotel chains are using the same tool. You are very familiar with it, most probably it's from Schneider. And then we have sustainability standards from GSTC, and also we are requiring to have a green operational certification for operating hotels. And of course, at the end, we have the renewable energy certificate. Thank you for giving me more time. All right, so just walking through the tools what we have. So we developed a document, it's an interactive PDF, which is guiding the hotel engineer through the building from the basement to the rooftop, telling them, okay, this is what you have to look for, and these are the key actions what you can take in the garage, in the kitchen, in the boiler room. So it's really guiding them and giving them enabling them to create an energy and environmental action plan. And then we have, of course, energy efficiency programs through our technical standards, really addressing all key areas. And this program is, we call it Guaranteed Energy Saving Program, EPC. So I don't know if you are familiar with the EPC, but we Accor partnered with Honeywell, JCI, and Siemens globally. And we developed a program for our owners to basically give them a turnkey solution for the energy efficiency project. So the unique owner value proposition in this is that the supplier will guarantee the savings, and they will also do the investment. So it sounds like a straightforward, no-brainer program, but it's not, of course, because we are not owning the building. It's very financial, very technical, and very legal. So it takes lots of engagement with our owners to actually make sure that they can engage with this. But we have very good results. And then, of course, green building certification is one of the key levers what we are pushing for, also for new builds, but also for operating buildings, which is also resulting in a good operational savings. And then, of course, as mentioned before, we are tracking everything what we do to make sure that we can drive performance and engagement in the hotels within sustainability, but also with the engineering team. And at the end, we also have two global partners, Green Globe and Green Key, and we are certifying most of our hotels this year and next year. We have very ambitious targets to have all the hotels certified. And then, of course, what you can't reuse, you need to compensate somehow. So we need to talk about energy procurement, renewable energy procurement, energy attribute certificates. And this is also a program what we are working on because we have high commitments, and being asset-light business, I think energy procurement and renewable energy procurement is a very straightforward way to reduce carbon emission. And it's available in most of our operating countries. Before I go to this video, I just want to share this slide. We committed to the science-based targets, and we have high ambition to achieve net zero by 2050. But we wanted to assess, can we actually get there, and how can we get there as a group? Because it's easy to commit and easy to say, but we would like to make sure that it's also happening. So we did two studies. One was a renewable energy assessment study in all of the countries. And the second was an energy efficiency survey, and you see the results here. So we have 2,100 hotels responded, which was very surprising. I didn't expect so many hotels responding. We sent it out to 5,500 hotels, and that was like a very, very good surprise. So we have valuable insights. It was a very detailed survey, but you see that building fabric is one of the key elements to address. Then, of course, lighting, HVAC, which you already know, but I think we need to focus more on building fabric topics when we do new builds or renovation. So that was, I'm still with time. That was in a very nutshell, but we also made a video to basically explain everything what I just mentioned, because to go through all of this in like 15, 20 minutes, it's a lot of information, but we also want to make sure that when we talk to our owners, they actually understand what we are doing. So we choose to make a video, and the owner is explaining about the green value proposition of Hotel SS. So I would love to play this for you and get your feedback.
Okay, you're a hotel owner. You have heard about green hotels. They have lower environmental impact. The question in your mind is, should I be making my hotels green? Going green is the right thing to do for the planet. But you're also wondering if it's going to make business sense for you. That is a good question. Let's see this as the story of two hotels. A green hotel and let's call this a brown hotel. Now, how will they each perform? First, let's think about revenue. What proportion of guests would you say are currently more likely to choose hotels that are greener? 75%. And the proportion of Accor's corporate account who have a green agenda which prioritize booking green hotel rooms? 70%. OTAs are ranking hotels by eco criteria. So clearly our green hotel will attract more revenue. And this one will miss out. How about operating costs? After staff, your second highest cost usually is energy. Green hotels use smart tech for heating, ventilation, and smart tech uses less energy. In fact, you can save between 20% and 40% on your energy cost. We'll come back to that soon. And of course, the green hotel actually has a higher asset value. In fact, when you create a green asset, you add more than 10% to its value. Plus, it's easier to secure investment finance against green assets. So if you wanted to make an existing hotel green, how does that work? First off, the hotel is surveyed to work out what needs to be done and what the business case will look like. Accor can really help here. They have a lot of green expertise, they know best practice, they can help your team a lot. Then, this is the clever bit. We mentioned the energy cost of your new green hotel are going to be far lower. Accor has a scheme where you use those future energy cost saving to pay for your green conversion now. So a green conversion can actually cost you little or nothing up front. And for new builds, building a new green hotel costs about the same as building a brown one. So from a cost point of view, it's not that hard to go green. Back to our two hotels and how they work out for you. Well, the green hotel, as we have seen, it's more attractive to individual guests and corporate bookings. It gets higher revenues and lower operating cost. Because it's green, it has a higher asset value and it's easier to raise finance on. And whether it's a conversion or a new build, you have negligible additional costs. And the brown hotel? Well, it can't be certified green. It may start to be non-compliant with government legislation. It's certainly less attractive to leisure guests. It may get excluded from a lot of corporate bookings. Its revenues will start to fall, and it has higher running costs. So you could say that there are plenty of compelling reasons to go green. For your guest, and for your team, and for your business, and for the next generation. And to start that planning now.
All right, thank you very much. Hope you liked the video. Well, I think we went from a very emotional part at the beginning to a very business-driven at the end, and that was the objective to show you that actually, we are very passionate about sustainability and energy efficiency and carbon reduction, but there's also a business case, what we need to communicate to our guests, owners, and also employees. So thank you very much for the session today. It was a pleasure being here with you guys, and thank you so much.